How's it going, guys? This is X-Dave, and I'm playing some Black Ops here. I'm using the AK on Radiation, and I absolutely wrecked shop on this map, and that's quite an appropriate opening line for what I want to talk about today, which is the London riots. Now, if you read any sort of social media or watch any, you'll have probably noticed that London is somewhat on fire at the moment, and this is due to a bunch of largely youths going around and setting buildings on fire. And this all came about because a man, I believe he's called Mark Dugan, was shot by the police. Apparently the police feared for their safety and shot the man. Rumour was at first that the man was armed and had fired at them, but that was denied by the police. So I'm not entirely sure why they feared for their safety, but they did and shot the man. And this man, images of him were released in the news and stuff, and it's a picture of him and he's pretending his hand is a gun, so you can likely assume that this man is some sort of gangster, or he has a mental age of about 5 and still thinks that's cool. But his family arranged a protest walk, and I assuming he is a gangster, that all these homies turned up and basically started the rioting, and it's escalated from there. It's spread to dozens of different places in London, and not only that, but it's spread outside of London as well, into places like Liverpool and Birmingham, and likelihood is it's going to continue spreading today. Now, originally, the rioters were, presumably, their message behind this was that this man shouldn't have been shot. Of course, that's not a justifiable reason to riot. I don't think there is any real reason to justify rioting unless the government is, well, somewhere like Egypt or Syria. But basically, people started off because of that, but I think people now are just largely using it as an excuse, because obviously people in Birmingham, people in Liverpool don't know this guy that was shot. I'd bet you that 99% of the people that are rioting in London don't know this guy. Basically, it's just a bunch of opportunistic robbers, a bunch of arsonists going around, and they're just destroying the windows, taking whatever they can from the shop, and then burning the shop down. And it's pretty sad scenes, to be honest. There's numerous shops been burnt down. There's a carpet a carpet shop. Why is that being burnt down? Fancy dress shop has been burnt down, where I assume tons of the youths went in to get masks and stuff to protect their identity, and then were just burnt it down whilst they're there. There was a shop that was about 140 years old. It survived 2 world wars. It had been in a family for 5 generations. That's been burnt down now. A Sony factory was burnt down, and I'm not even joking when I say that was probably Xbox fanboys that burnt that one down. The entire thing was absolutely destroyed. And if you drive past London at the moment, drive around various areas of it, you can see smoke clouds. Loads of my friends on Facebook have been saying that, because a few of them work around there, they've been saying how they've seen all the smoke, and it's terrible scenes, really, and it doesn't make any sense. These rioters must have about an IQ of about 5, because why would you burn down your own city, assuming they are actually from there and they're not just turned up from random places? But you go out and you burn down your local supermarket, local newsagents, local pub. That affects you. That is just... What are you going to do? Like, when the riot cools down next week, assuming you're not in prison, what are you going to be doing? And speaking of prison, actually, there were I almost said millions. There were hundreds of people arrested. I believe the number is close to 500, and there's not enough places to keep all these people. The prisons are full. They're having to be taken to prisons outside of London, or just outside of the areas, and it's a pretty sad scene, to be honest. You have to wonder what these people actually contribute to society in any sort of way, and then you wonder if you do really want to keep people like this in the country, because frankly they're just going to go to prison now and take up a space in a cell, take up some taxpayers' money. And speaking of taxpayers' money, that was a reason a few youths gave for their rioting. There's been a few rather brave reporters going around. Mark Stone is one, if you know him. He works for Sky. Not Sky singular, not plural, and he's been going up to these kids that are all robbing the places and just saying things like, do you think this is funny? Why do you think you're doing this? And lots of them have been giving him answers such as they're getting their taxes back, which is a moronic statement, really, because frankly, first of all, probably half of them are on the dole. It's a well-known fact that lots of people in London are on the dole. Half of them are kids. They don't even pay taxes yet. They probably don't know what VAT is, but they do pay that one. But the rest of them don't even pay taxes. And second of all, you've gone around in the capital city and you've destroyed millions of pounds of worth of stuff, and how's that going to be paid for? It's going to be paid for out of taxes, though you're probably not going to be paying those taxes, so it's not an issue for you. Now, London is the capital city of England. It's about to host the Olympics, and it's a pretty terrible scene right now that a country like this is just completely out of control. We can't be hosting the Olympics in this sort of state. Numerous football matches have been cancelled, which is a shame for me as a football supporter. The England versus Holland friendly has been cancelled, and that's disappointing because I was looking forward to seeing that. But you can't have these sort of events going on when the capital city is in ruins. The Prime Minister flew back from his holiday today, gave a speech earlier, but I really don't see how that's going to help much. I suppose he can coordinate efforts, he can be an authoritative figure, but the likelihood is most of them hate him because he's so posh and stuff. But that's a strange thing to say, because you don't want a chav in charge of your country, do you? It's quite good to have a posh person in charge. But I don't think that's going to actually help much. So it's confusing what they're going to do. As far as I'm aware, the army is not being drafted in. There are not going to be any use of water cannons. Police forces are going to be increased from 6,000 to 16,000 tonight, but those police are coming from other areas such as Manchester, and rioting could start there. Now the opportunists see that there are less police there, and they can all go out and bag themselves a free TV. Pretty sad scenes, to be honest, but hopefully it can be resolved in a few days, and hopefully I don't have to go anywhere near London. Now, this is the end of the gameplay. That was just the first half of Demolition. Demolition is too long to put the whole thing up, so I hope you enjoyed. If you have any thoughts on what I've said, please let me know, and I'll see you next time.